What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today we're going to be talking about none other than Market Watch. So let's dive right into the video and talk about it. So let's start it off, boys and girls. I got a suggestion from Mario's Gaming World to start maybe with the pre-release side of it first, because I'm very known for covering the pre-release cards, all of them at least. So before we dive into other markets based on that, I just wanted to talk about it. So if you like that it's in the beginning, let me know down in the comments. If you prefer it at the end, let me know down in the comments. So first off, we have Kendo Garurumon for, you know, 12 bucks here, which isn't bad. I mean, it's coming down, especially since overall it's seeing less and less play. I mean, the deck is starting to phase out as the closer we get to BT8. So just keep that in mind. Cerberus Werewolf mode is about 14 to 15 bucks to sell. I think it would probably be good if you have the pre-release stamps, move them. I think you'll get your decent money worth before they tank again, because the deck starts seeing less and less play, just because it's just this also hit with the Eismon really does hurt the Lilithmon loop deck. So I think moving them now, make your money's worth, get some profit in. Without even much more to look at, let's see, nothing else really spiking here. We got Koromons, you know, Zyomons, Trident Revolver, Kari, you know, Drag You to the Depths is about a $2 card. Chaosmon, you know, Budmon, nothing too essential in Great Legends here. I mean, nothing. This is just basically a sad set for pre-release stamps. I mean, nothing too crazy out of the ordinary here. Let's move on to Battle Omni. Sukuyamon's about $17. Remember, this is just a ticking time clock card. Sell them now, because if you want a max rarity, you have the Tamer packs now that you want to move, because those Tamers set is coming out soon, and once you get your hands on it, there's a max rarity foil full version alternate art of Sukuyamon, so you're gonna want to have that. So sell these out now, make your profit. I mean, if you also, you know, allow the people that want to buy this, buy it. So just my 2 cents there. If you have these, move them. Omni Shoutmons, $18, $19. I mean, this card can either go both ways. I don't know how this is going to go. Make your profit now, I think, is a good point, is move your Omni Shouts now, unless you are going to play Shoutmon in BT10, because it can go either way. We've known how Bushy operates. Well, Bandai operates, not Bushy. Ugh. Playing too much Card Fight Vanguard the last couple days. We're gonna be, you know, Reprint Central usually hits these kind of cards that haven't had an alternate art or anything like that, so just keep that in mind. Infermon's coming down. I like to see this. This one's the one that, you know, can warp on top of a Caramon, so just watch out for that. Black War Growlmon, about 10 bucks. Mega Digievolution, don't touch this with a 10-foot pole. I mean, we're going to skip these two because me saying their names will never come out right. Guillimon, about, you know, $7 probably with shipping. I mean, not bad. This is the Guillimon that gets popped and you gain a memory for purple. Hasn't seen much value or play for a long time. Shoutmon, about $9. We are getting an alternate art of this one. So, and that's in the Tamer box volume 2. This one will give us another full art version of that Shoutmon. So I think move this one, get your money's worth. Recommendation. Greymon, we already have a very prevalent, good looking one. Metal Greymon Alterius mode, $25. This is kind of crazy, a little expensive. I mean, if you got your playset, move them. That's my only recommendation. Gabumon's about $4. Zeeg Greymon, make sure you have this. There are about $8. I mean, that he might be played at 3 in that Shoutmon deck, and this could go up to being Omni Shout status, but could also see a reprint. I mean, this is how Bandai operates. Sword Joes, Black War Greymons, Tai and Matt, Pikmon, Absolute Blast, Diaboramon, not worth it, Shademon, Nokia, possibly just in case you wanted a higher rarity of Nokia. I think this is a good pickup here because at least she has the pre-release stamp, so technically she is a mid-rarity compared to the full art. So if you guys want to have a quote-unquote max rarity deck, definitely pick this card up. I think this allows you to get into it very cheaply. We'll talk about her real price in a little bit, but I think pre-release stamp version is a moderately okay substitute. Let's take a look further. Nothing too crazy over here. Now let's get into Double Diamond. So Double Diamond, Howling Memory Boost, trying to hold that $19 stigma. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, everybody's going to start slowly trying to move this because the blue hybrid is no longer best deck. So it is a good deck and it'll still see play. So I think this might change and fluctuate later. So I don't think moving them right now is going to change anything. So just keep that in mind. Flamemon is about, $17. That's not terrible. It's starting to come down more and more. And I kind of enjoy seeing this card come back down, especially since it was way overly priced. For a deck that wasn't even the best deck in the format, I get the hype for, Red Hybrid was there, but it was a good deck. Savior Hawkmon, about 17. He is a one-of, so he's going to stay a one-of. I mean, watch this card drop to $10, then I recommend just picking up a full playset and holding on to it, because eventually they could remove it from the ban list. They could remove it, not ban list, restriction list. So you could see some definite changes there. Gigamon promotes about, $17. Not bad. Arbormon's about $10. TK Kari, about $10. That's not bad. Fly Bullet, I mean, definitely pick this up if you plan on playing max rarity Yelza. Just good pickup. Zwart Swarmer, same thing. And then Happy Bullet Shower. Definitely pick these up if you're planning on playing max rarity of that deck. Wizardmon's about 6. Ancient Troymon about 4. Wyvern's Breath going down even further. Even though it's their Gaia Force of the set, it is still ticking down. Izzy Joe's about 6. Hitmon's about 5. You got Tai Kamiya's about 4s. I mean, let's be honest here. These two cards are just ticking time bombs. They're gonna, if they ever make more bond support and we get another type of, bonds of bravery, bonds of friendship, another one of those level 7 styles, this could see another resurgence depending on how the format shifts. So I think that's a good idea, just to have that in your back pocket, because they're always going to be semi-viable, and making sure that you have the pre-release stamps, and that's their highest rarity, if I remember correctly. Manoa is about 3. Iron Fist Onslaught's about, $3. Guntramon's about 2s. Demimera's about $1.75. Pagumon's about $2.50. Rebellimon's about $2.31. I mean, nothing too crazy up in here either. Nothing on those full arts. Can't wait for BT8's full arts. I'm excited for that. So let's start it off. We got Jout Sylphie for Next Adventure is still holding the line at the $30 mark. Duro Greymon's about $37. And Durimon's about $60. Go pray in an altar or something. Go pray for whoever you want to. This card's not coming back down anytime soon. So if you didn't get your Doraemon during pre-release, I feel sorry for you. So Zephyrmon's about $20. Burning Greymon's about 13. I think that's a good pickup here. This and this being picked up, if you are still planning on buying the red hybrid support, it's never gonna not be good, especially if they ever make another tame, spirits, or this set kind of again. you want to have this, definitely think about that. Beowulf's about, $16, and it's just going to keep going down, and I'm going to wait until he's in Alderman range, and I'm going to pick him up at a full play set. Reihi's about 12s, Rhino Kabu's about $9, Kaiser Leo's about $7.50, Kota is about 10s, Beetlemon's about 7s, Ancient Beetle is 7s, Pride Memory Boost. Remember how I recommend picking this up last week? Now, that support is going to keep coming, and this card is probably going to be played in that deck just because of how Dark Knightmon works. This is going to be very much a chase card in itself, so just keep that in mind, that this card is probably going to stick around the $20 mark and just sit there. So you'll by next week, you should see it up here, hopefully, not all the way down here. Avenged Kidmon, everyone kind of got on that hype train of knowing that we do have Beelzestar possibly coming back. So get your Avenged Kidmon for your sideboards, especially if they plan on doing it in BT9, BT10. It's just good to have him, especially if they keep sideboards. Skull Knightmon's about $4. I mean, not bad. He hasn't really gone too crazy, but that's probably because we haven't seen what Lord Bagra does. Once Lord Bagra comes in, we're going to see what happens. This card probably will skyrocket, so make sure you're just having your full play set of this. But nothing too crazy after that. Everything else is just kind of in the fair but cheap price range. So that's kind of all the pre-release stuff we wanted to talk about. Now, let's talk about it. Alternate art Ghost Rare Omnimons finally busting out and hitting these $1,000 mark. So if you actually have them, keep holding on to them. This is going to keep climbing because of how rare it is, and they haven't made any announcements that they're reprinting Double Diamond. So I mean, if this is going to keep getting scarce, he's just going to be straight money. Especially if you get this even graded, it's going to be even double that. But he's going to hold his value and keep it there. I mean, just pay attention. About 745 euros. So that equals about our price range. I think it's about $850 for us. I think that is right. If anybody that is watching in the Europe side, let me know if I got that about right for the English dollar to euro. I think so. Next, Omnimon Zwart defeats are just slowly ticking face downwards. I mean, it's holding the line, trying to be, $5.69 for, all that goodness that you want. This card is semi-played in the format, depending on what you want to do. This could be played in Mastamon, and it's a solid pickup choice, or you can just have it just keep trying to tick down and watch people try to sell them as much as they can, and pick it up when it hits the $40 range or anything less. Once BT9 hits, if I remember correctly, this card just sees no longer play. So this card could go down to the $30 range very easily. So just keep that in mind. We also have, 35 euros, about $40 on their side, I think. That's roughly what that is. It's not bad. X Antibody has been just slowly creeping up under the radar. So, I mean, Omnimon X Antibody does see some play in some of the X Antibody decks. It helps build a protection. So I think this is good thought process of just having outs and stuff like that. I think this is just very solid support. Definitely pick him up if you want to have him. So I think he's not going to come back down because, again, Battle Omni hasn't had an announcement that they're reprinting the sets or anything like that. You can probably still get them, but alternate Omni is just what it is. $20, 20 euros on their side. Not terrible. I think that's very solid. We also have Lucamon Chaos Mode. This card is just starting to tank again, but I wouldn't be surprised once you start seeing Mastamons everywhere. This card's spiking back up. I mean, it is Lucamon. It's going to be played in at 2, and everybody's going to need at least 2. So just watch out for it. Europe side, same thing, about 30 bucks our side, I would say. Roughly, I mean, 33 would be roughly what it is. Just watch that. Metal Greymon alternate art here is just slowly skyrocketing. This card, I think personally, you only need 2. You're not going to need 4. You're not going to need 4 of this card. I don't think 3's viable enough. I think 2 is just that right center point where for the Black War Greymon deck, that is just, it's good and it's going to do what you need to. Especially if you're using Chimeramon, you'll cycle these out, cycle him back into the stack, which will help you out. Then we have on the EX collection about $24 on the Europe side. So if you have any connections that can probably get you this for the good value, pick them up. Remember when I told you to buy the Dark Nightmons? I remember this card. This card is just ticking time bomb from going back up to the $30 range. The Hawks Gaming Nest, I think, is a fake that could definitely see, especially if you're going to put a new store up. Sometimes these people you can't buy from. Let's try. Let's see. So only has 0 of this available to see. Okay, so it's not there anymore. Okay, Pallet Town store, about $21. Well, this card's just gonna keep holding price. It's gonna go back down, but then once we get closer to BT 10, we're gonna see this card spike if it ever comes out this year. So I think Dark Nightmon is gonna see massive play. On the Europe side, about $10. Not bad at all. Let's go into Magna Garurumon alternate art. This card has just been seeing a massive down spiral ever since it just hasn't had that competitive style of play. It just hasn't done much, and that's just because Azulanmon really took the shine spot where that if they're gonna stall you out, at least you're gonna just remove everything they can. So just keep that in mind. Magna Garurumon as well as this, pretty solid. Now Ridemyavatar, we know that BT8, it gives us Ridemyavatar Fury mode, so make sure you pick him up if you want to play that deck. It's actually a solid enough deck to justify actually having this max rarity on it, and the art is pretty cool. I think it's really solid, especially since it'll combo very well. So I mean, you know, $7 on the Europe side, not bad at all. Grand Kuwagamon, I'm gonna recommend this now. Pick up your playset at the $5 mark, because once we get to BT9, you're gonna see Grandest Kuwagamon. Unless they do some willy-nilly max rare, you know, willy-nilliness where it's they reprint this card in some shape or form, you're going to not, this card's going to be a chase hunting card. This card will spike up to that $15 real quick, so make sure you at least slowly pick this up. Don't make it a rush buy, anything like that. Just get your base play set and hold on to it. You know, Grand Kuwagamon's not bad. Europe side about $2, about $5 our side, so it matches. Let's go on to this card here. We have Leopardmon here. Leopardmon has a mode shift and it has a X antibody form. These are ticking time bombs, especially if they ever give us the mode shift of him and then they give us his X antibody form. That could be in BT 10, it could be in BT 11. We don't know, but if they do anything to make this card extremely good or required to be the Digi-Evolution target, because when you make the X antibodies, they haven't really made the prior form in that set. Usually it's either a trial deck they're going to make you buy, or they're going to have you use the older card here. So make sure you just have him and sit on him, I think that's a good investment. Same thing, $10 on their side, about 13 on ours would be classified. So definitely get it. Contorismon, same thing. He's a low enough card value that he's a low stock. So if you invest into him now, get your playset. When they make the X antibody Contorismon, it's going to make some value for you. So I think it's a good small investment long term. It's not like a bait card. It's just something that will happen. There is an X antibody version. This card will spike just because how the market works. So the moment the X antibody comes out, you're going to want to have him so you can flip him and make some good money. So he's a good investment, long-term investment holds. So Analog Youth, alternate art. This card has been just seeing decrease. It is a great card in purple, and that's fine. But you're going to see that this card is just going to keep going down for now, because as decks less and less require of him, the less value he has going for himself. You know, just $55, not bad. Now we also have Nokia. Nokia is just going to hold the line at the 22 mark. She'll probably come back down a little by little. The more copies you actually have, the more value you have. So if this is the full art foiled box topper version, make your money's worth now, because eventually she's just going to come back down. And I mean, that's just what it's going to be like. She's not going to be crazy high. She's going to hold her line for now. And I think the 22 is just about fair price for her. 20, 25s, 28s. On the Europe side, you know, you got 15 here, but the most you're going to get is about 20 euros. So that's not bad. Tai Kamiya, still going to climb. Sadly, without the trial deck reprint on the Gamamon one, you're not going to have any way of getting Tai back down into a realistic price. I'm sorry to say this, but this Tai is just going to be expensive for the foreseeable future until they reprint him in some capacity. Tai Kamiya on the Europe side, actually trying to be fair pricing, which I hope it will eventually hit there. So let's talk about the Howling Crusher I talked about last week. Remember, this card has just been on a steady up climb. Yes, you can just say, well, this is a baity card or something like that. But remember, when BT9 hits, they have the Greymons, they have the Garurumons, they have the armor forms, Jagras is a thing, stuff like that, that could have more self-protection is what you want to kind of just strip away the self-protection. You know, the Greymon have a Greymon that basically, and a Metal Greymon that basically says that gives the Omnimon protection by just trashing 2 sources, so that you would instantly just not die by your options. So you want to be able to remove that first, and being able to have Howling Crusher strip all that protection away, and then they'll die to your secondary option with Beelzestar. Not a bad choice and combination. It's not a bad card to have, because especially if you just have 2 of it, you'll be pretty solid, I think. There's no reason to be like, 40, 4 copies in a deck, but maybe 1 to 2 could definitely see some viability in the Beelzestar list. So just keep that in the top of your head here, boys and girls. Howling Crusher, same thing. About, cents on the Europe side. I think hopefully Europe picks up their copies and gets a good solid buy-in. They don't need too crazy much, but I think this is a good investment for long term. Let's talk about it. Cocytus Breath is also another great card, especially with cards that are armor or big boss Digimon that you can just Cocytus Breath with Beelzestar. It's another good option. Depends on how you want to play it, but at least pick up a copy or 2 and hold on to it. I mean, until they announce that this is going to be 2022s, I don't think this is going to be the same thing. I think Tamer's Evolution Pack is going to be Tamer Volume 2 for championships. So I think we're going to see the next iteration. So just keep this in the back of your mind that you may want to invest into this. So boys and girls, we have about $35 on the Europe side for theirs. So definitely pick your copies up. Get at least 2 of these. So, I mean, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!